Alright, so this is Growing Up Kate, part 6. I've been all over the place. The last one we talked about ballerina thing, the constantly being sick with deadly illnesses, and how I was not allowed to be happy. So all this being said, I've always had a very strong sense of who I was because everyone was trying to tell me who I was, and it wasn't. And I knew that they were lying. I knew that they weren't telling the truth. And so I would think it was funny because I thought they were joking. I thought that everyone else could see this behavior like I could. And so in my head, it was very like, that is hilarious. So everything was very flat and blunt and straightforward with me. And Kate, did you write on this wall? No, I don't own purple crayons. And instead of being like, oh, somebody could have, going around the subject, somebody could have done this, and then, it was always very blunt. So this always led people to think that I was lying. Instead of beating around the bush and not directly answering and not directly saying anything, I would just say the things, and that was the answer. The question was answered immediately. And that abruption angered people. Which is why healing is so important, because you are not a victim. You never were. But that's neither here nor there. I'm trying to talk about growing up, Kate, not what I've done to alleviate it. So obviously this led to a lot of abuse. Growing up, my sister would beat the absolute dog shit out of me, claw me, scratch me, make me bleed, beat the fuck out of me, and parents didn't do anything. They thought we were being silly. I would call them on the phone, screaming, crying, and what you think they cared? They didn't care. And so eventually I would go around and either chase her with a steak knife, or just fight back. I would end up fighting back. And she would do this because, the attention, and I know it's going to be, again, very blunt, so it's going to be like, that's an interesting way to put it, but through all the healing and things like that, was not very happy with me existing, with me being alive. Before me, she had all the attention, she was in beauty pageants, and then I came along and just fucked that up for her. Oh my God. So she would constantly tell people that she didn't know where I came from, but we were not related, or I was adopted, or anything to question myself or make me think that everyone hated me, which it would never. So this is the thing that gets me, is like, it would never work, but just in case it might one day. And so that led to like, hey, can you go get this blanket for me? And we had to share a bedroom, of course. And growing up, because Section 8, and then having a parent that didn't actually care, so we just get thrown wherever. I say we, it would only be me, because I was that. Sister did not get treated the same way, because she was just like mother. So they were two peas in a pod, everything, whatever I got, sister got something better. I asked for like a computer for Christmas, got it 6 years later for my birthday, but she got a better one just because she might get jealous. That's the way it was explained to me by Crazy Mother. So that's how I nicknamed them. Crazy Sister was just pissed. So I would go and just live and succeed and have a great time and have fun, and because they really didn't affect me, they didn't. Again, nothing I could do would satisfy them, would be good, would be awesome, would be great. So I kind of lived my life as if they didn't exist, and it worked. But it was because of the Asperger's, like because of the autism. I didn't know that I had to. So there was no like awareness that they wanted me to hate myself at this point. So I'm trying to like go through the layers, go through the things. So this is still all before 10 years old, or quote unquote 10 years old, because the birth certificate age lying thing. And so eventually in our adult life, this led them to do weird things. Like when we worked together for a little bit at a place, and it would lead her to do weird things, like telling our coworkers that I wasn't actually going to school, which it's like, what do you think I'm here for? To make money to pay for school? Like just very odd, off the wall things. And then when I met my now significant other, of course over Xbox, like I talked about, it was just a very like, he's not really there. And then when he came here, it was like a big surprise. Like oh yes, didn't know anything about him, even though I had no problem telling them about him. But even then, it was like you can't have money to go see him. And it was inheritance that they would not let me have. Just very strange to say they as in Crazy Sister and Crazy Mother. And that's not all, but in this respect, you can kind of see how I've always known who I am and who Kate is and why I've always been so unshakable. Because that is how I grew up. That is the environment I was set in, and then through the healings and stuff like that. And I just want to point out too that I've always been that way throughout lifetimes, unshakable, but with things like that and knowing who I was. But that's why growing up in that kind of environment didn't really affect me like that. This one kind of went all over the place. More to come. I don't feel like much was said in this, but everything was said in this. I don't know how to make myself feel better about this. This is really odd, but okay, feedback is welcome. Okay, love you, bye.